Hello, video number 3. This is a Foden with a Gardner 180 diesel engine, 1969 model. Work our way up here. This lorry is called an Atkinson. Again, Gardner diesel engine, this time a Gardner 150. There's a ERF here in the livery of S. Maynard and Son Sussex, and it has a Perkins diesel in it, so that's a ERF or ERF. This is a Matador AEC bus, so this is a bus version. It looks as though it's a towing roof in case the bus broke down, which I might be needing that in Hastings pretty soon. This is the Volvo military vehicle I saw last time at Tinkers Park. If we go up a bit further, we see a bus of some kind. Can't tell what it is. It's probably a Leyland, perhaps. Someone I know out there. But then we see a comma. And it's a little miniature van type thing. So a commercial vehicle from the 60s. Because comma were the commercial arm for Roots Group. If we move around here, we see a, looks like a Broughton. Oh, no, it's a military vehicle of some kind. So Broughton RB44, according to that. There's a Bedford lorry. And there's a little Scamel. Look at that. Right, so I'm going to swing round now, and we see both a Bedford Dormobile and a Morris Commercial. Again, I think I saw this. I saw that at Loughton Cuckoo Spring Fair. We head back down the hill again. No wonder they said sensible shoes. Flipping heck. But here's there's a Land Rover, probably Series 2. Another Series 2, 3 maybe, 2A. They all kind of, I can't really identify them. I just keep meaning to, but it just never happens. There's a Ford, like pickup, British styly. We go a bit further down, going down the hill again. Sounds like a day at work, that does. Goes downhill. Right, we're going to have a look here. Someone's painted the badge over, which is not good. Can just about make out it says Thames. It's a Thames. So if we go down to, and there's a Bedford, Partridge Green, West Sussex. That's, oh, hold up, there used to be a brewery there not that long ago. And if we look here, we see a, oh, that's a very late Foden. Looks like it was registered 2001. So when did Foden stop being made? Stop making them. Right, we go a bit further down. We see a couple of Land Rovers. Interesting. Gin tonic. Really? Right, we see another Scamel. Land Rover Ford Control. Another Land Rover and a Ford Model T next to it. A Volvo BM tractor. Where is it? now we go on to the next row of commercial vehicles. That is an AC Mercury. It's an AC Mercury. We go up here a little bit more, we see a Bedford TL814. I'm going to end up knackered. Very steep hills. Right, and we see another Bedford here. SDC, I think, on front of it. I don't know what that is really. Another Bedford here. Land Rover. Try and get a. And it's been to Weald. It went there 3 years ago by the looks of things. Another Bedford. Ah, man. And that's post office telephones. So that's before they become British Telecom and got privatised. Another Land Rover of some kind in red. Right, we go up here, we find another Scamel. I like the fact you can open the windscreen on this. There's a transport contractor. So if we essentially crawl up this hill now, because it does get that way, there's a couple of ERFs. There's a 1995 edition ERF. Right, and here's another ERF, probably from way back when. Looks like to be a recovery rig. There's people need that. Still need recovery rigs now, actually, if I'm honest. Oh, and if we look over there, that's where all the classic cars are. There's not that many, so I can cover that quite quick. There's a Mercedes Arctros. Right, as we crawl up the hill, we see another ERF. This time's the EG11 Olympic Cummins engine. That looks to be a Thornycroft. Never really heard of them. So that looks like a towing rig as well. Now see a Comma. Next to it is another Scamel. Another towing rig by the looks of things. Powered by Rolls Royce and called the Avonhill. If we see a Southdown bus. Don't know what brand it is. Maybe one of them ones that they probably put together themselves based on something else. But it's a couple of AEC Matadors here. One says oil engine, so they've both got cranes on. Well, I can usually tell it's AEC even if it doesn't have a badge on, because it's just a triangle shape where the badge should be. Morris Minor post van. Is that a not a Scamel, is it?
Hey?
Just thinking what that is.
American Diamond T.
Diamond T.
Second World War tank transporter, but it's been converted into a recovery lorry in 1967.
I've seen one or two of them actually.
There's another one over there. You don't see many of them. They're a rare motor.
Diamond T.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever heard of them, because I've heard of Dodge. I'd heard of GMC and all that.
They were specifically built for the British Army.
Oh right.
German tanks around.
Oh right.
There was 5,226 of them made. There's probably not 80 of them left, if that.
That's pretty amazing actually.
Weald's had 30 of them on the road.
30 of them.
30 of the Weald's using 30.
Oh, that's really interesting. Called a Diamond T. Cheers for that. Sitting next to it is an ERF, and there's the ERF that I saw earlier. Now if we switch around to the Bedford called Bertie, we won't go that side because, well, I think we've been that side before. To its left is another okay. Next to that's a Leyland, and to the left of that's a Scammell. Another Land Rover, a Land Rover forward control. Right, here we are with another Scammell. A lot of Scammells around today. That's good. That's always brilliant because it just is brilliant. So we're now going to go down to the classic cars, so I'm gonna keep going. Right, so now I've done the tractors, and now I'm going to go down to the classic cars. So there's a Land Rover, some kind. Next to that looks to be a Ford, no, Thames. It's actually a Thames, which is basically a Ford. It's Ford's commercial arm at that time. Little mini-me there as well. There's a Ford Escort Mexico. Don't know if it's done out as a Mexico. Is it? I do not know, because a real Mexico is like north of a lot of money. Ford Escort XR3i. Every time I see one of these, it actually reminds me of when me and my mates were all going to pass our driving tests. We all wanted one, and then the insurance company just laughed at us. Never going to happen, was it? Ford Escort Mark 1 1300E. Oh, what's this? That's a Citroen Traction Avant. Citroen were one of the pioneers of front wheel drive on a car. Triumph Toledo. They actually look quite nice. Look at that. Next to it is a Triumph Stag. Just a. There we are. Look at that, isn't that nice? That is a nice car. Next to it's a GMC. Not quite so. Actually, GMC, that General Motors company or something, used to make them. But if we look here, GMC 100. So we go about MG Rover ZT. This was essentially the end of an era, really, or near the end. It kind of would have been nice if Rover had continued forever, but you know, I think it's like a lot of things in Britain, everything like downhill trajectory. Ford Anglia, the sit up and beg ones. That looks to be a Mark IV Escort. Maybe a Mark. No, I think it's a Mark 3 or 4. There's not much of a change. Back to the Anglia. That's nice. Lotus Cortina. Very understated. Looks as though the back seats have been took out. 1600 GT, says Mexico on the side, not quite sure. And there's a Frog Eye. Try and get ourselves a shot without, we won't have one without the chair in, I can just alter it whenever. Vauxhall Cresta. Check it out, Vauxhall Cresta. Best thing about this, it looks American without the incredibly large fuel bill. Wait a minute, have I seen? No, I hadn't seen this one. I actually saw something similar to this at work the other day. This is another Ford Anglia, but probably not the Super. It's a Super I saw at work. And everybody was looking at it. That's a, where is that? That is a Morris Cowley, not the bull nose, it seems to be a different one. If we go around we can see a Austin 7. Let's get ourselves a view in here. If we look here, a Mercedes of some kind. Well, might be an SL, might be something else. And a cute caravan. There's another cute caravan. Looks to be streamlined, but it probably still hold up the traffic. Right, that looks to be a Sunbeam. Oh, Ford Model T. Right, there looks to be a Rolls Royce. Some kind. If we go here, we see a Ford Mustang GT. Previous generation to what we can get hold of now. Last of the ones they didn't engineer for Britain. Let's have a look at this because this looks really weird. It's a double-ended, it looks, oh my life, it looks like a double-ended Morris Minor. There's no one here to explain it. That's just a freak of nature, that is. I'm going to take a picture of this using my, I'm going to take a quick picture. This just looks, oh no, I need the camera. Thank you. Yep. Right, we see a Morris Minor police car, looks relatively normal. Short and Mini. So there's a Short and Mini, I think I saw that. Yeah. See a Austin of some kind.
Cut down wing there, no?
There's a Austin 12.4. Go, maybe see a Wolseley 14. 14 horsepower Wolseley. Now we see an Alvis, very early Alvis. So what one is that? TG 1250. Alright. Right, we now get ourselves to a Morris. Doesn't really say 8. So Morris 8. So we get ourselves around here. See an MGB, and to my right is a Rover 75, but not the 75 what you might think, but this is way back when. 1949. Yeah, cheers for that. Right, as we make our way along the cars, there's the British Railways Morris Minor 1000 by the looks of things, and it was based at Hellingway. I think I saw this at Tinker's Park last time out. I didn't bother going out last weekend because I was still, well, an MOT can empty your wallet quicker than my car accelerates. And there's a Ford Zodiac. Another Morris Minor 1000, the Traveller. Another MG. There's a Ford 8 Model what? 7Y. 7Y, so it's an 8. I don't know. Side valves, anyways. Ford Anglia. The generation before the sit up and beg, and way before the one with the slashback windscreen. There's yeah, looks like another Ford side valve of some kind. Next to that, if we have a look at this red car here, that's a Prefect. Right, another Land Rover. Going a bit further along, you see a Vauxhall Wyvern. So you had the Wyvern, you had the Velox, and then you went up to a Cresta. I think that's how it evolved, or how the range was. See all the chrome work and see how American that actually looks. Let me just swing around to this Land Rover because, well, why not? Right, there looks to be a lorry of some kind, Ford. No, it says Fordson, so I didn't know Fordson had anything to do with commercial vehicles. And there's a Triumph Herald, a Thames,
Maxi. It looks quite nice.
that looks like that's a Wolseley 1800, because I think the 3 litre is just known as an Austin. Should have been known as a Wolseley, they would have sold better. We just go past a couple of camper vans. Yeah, type, oh, I don't know what that is. That's a 2, that's a type 2. And that's just a camper van, really. And it looks like there's another Citroen Traction Avant turning up. Yeah, another Citroen Traction Avant. Right, if we move our way along here, oh, it's actually a Wolseley 6. So it was probably the Austin 3 litre. They did badge it up as a Wolseley. Perhaps. I don't know. And here's a Ford Model T, the car that put everyone on the road. Old Henry was a bit of a genius. Another MG. So that's a pretty early one, Model T. And it's an MG here, some sort of little, I don't know what that is, but there's an Austin Healey 3000 Mark III. Another MG BGT Coupe. Oh, it's that Traction Avant again that I tried to video, and he looks a bit lost. This is a Thames Prefect front on it, perhaps. There's a Morris Minor that seems to have been chopped slightly. Honda S800. Quite fast for the small engine it had. If we go a bit further on, we see another Austin Healey Sprite. This time it's a Mark III or 4. Those are not frog eyes. They actually look quite normal, but still pretty ickle. It's a 1956 Chevrolet 3100, 4 litre straight 6. Probably didn't go that quick. It's just for hauling stuff, really. Right, there's a Riley Elf. And there's a Austin A40 with the hatchback. So that's the Farina one. I discussed this with someone at work once. There's a Volvo 122 perhaps. Nice curvy Volvo. Could even be an Amazon. Let's go and take a double look, because I don't know what it is about knowledge at the moment why I can't hold on to it. Yeah, it doesn't say Amazon on it, so it's just a 122. Right, if we go up here, we go back to the double-ended Morris. Deary me. We go around here. You now see another Rover, yeah, it's a Rover of some kind, Rover 100, so that's a P4. You see this big Austin, I'm not sure. If we look here, there's an MG, that's not a T-type, that looks before. This looks like way before the T-types. Probably an M-type. Yep, I found. Yeah, so this is an M-type, so it's sort of before the T-types. Some of the bodywork is metal, but this looks like, doesn't look quite metal. Might be leather or something, because they didn't have vinyl back then. But if we go round here, we see a Hupmobile 8. Never seen one. So that's all the cars done so far. Just swing round to this Land Rover here. Actually, there's a Fordson Major and a Land Rover. But I'm going to get around to that in a minute, because actually I want to go back to where the steam engines are and make another video from there.